Okay, so I was talking about knowledge areas. How do I explain knowledge areas? I told us earlier, I said, when you are managing a project, there's no one thing you are doing that's called project management. There's no one thing that is called project management. There's no one thing that's called project management. So, lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. Okay, so, and then I explained, I said, all what you need to get done in project management, according to PMI, has been explained via processes. So according to PMI, you have 49 processes. 49. That is, what you need to get done in the name of managing a project, there are 49. 4 and 9. What is a process? A process is a set of related activities towards a particular goal. So according to PMI, there are 49 sets of related activities towards the goal, towards the various goals of the process. Now, the processes, remember I mentioned one thing. It's one thing to split up into subcomponents, into units. That's one thing. But for you to achieve the success you want, you must also know how to bring them back together. You must also understand the interrelationships between them, such that it's just like you buy a device and then somehow you want to do Jackie Chan. Something is wrong and you want to repair it yourself, and then you take screwdriver, you start removing. You know, it is good to be audacious, you know, for you. It's good to be bold. Yeah, bold is the right word. For you to say, yes, I want to repair it myself. But how bad will it be if you now decompose, you know, and then you cannot bring them back together? Then you will not achieve your goal. Even if you repaired what was wrong, note that. Even if you repaired what was wrong, as long as you cannot put those things back together into a consistent whole, you haven't achieved what you're supposed to achieve. So it's one thing to decompose, to break things down. So breaking down is step 1 in the direction of success. Step 2 is you want to understand each of those processes one by one. What are the peculiarities? Because as part of managing the whole stuff, you need to now do some level of subgrouping. I used the example of courses earlier. I said there's no one course that you do to get a degree in project in computer science, civil engineering or something. You do multiple courses. But are those courses just scattered around without some level of interrelationship, dependency? You realize that something is a requirement for this is a prerequisite for this one is compulsory, this one is required, this one is that. So it's one thing for you to break things down. The next thing now is for each stuff you have broken down, you want to understand them, all of them one by one, their peculiarities. And then as part of being able to manage them effectively, sometimes you now have to classify, to start some preliminary grouping of those things back. So your courses are now grouped into the ones we do in first semester, the ones we do in second semester, the ones we do in level 1, the ones we do in this. That's one way of grouping. Then another way of grouping is to say, okay, the courses that have to do with mathematics are called math courses, regardless of the level. Whatever, as long as it has to do with mathematics, we call it math courses. The ones that have to do with statistics, we call it statistics courses. The ones that have to do with, well, I'm from science, so our art people. Let me see. I'm actually from art too. Psychology is art. I came back to school to study psychology. So I'm in theory level psychology right now. Don't laugh at me. I know what I'm looking for. Okay, so what am I looking for, Seth? Because of my background in science and my background in programming, I realized that I'm like a machine. I think in zeros and ones. And then I realized that to be able to impact, I need to go through another set of structured learning on soul to soul. being more human. Anyway, let me leave that aside. I just dropped that one by the side. So what was I talking about? So I said the courses that have to do mathematics are called math courses. The courses that have to do with English are called English courses. The ones that have to do with literature are called literature courses. Like that, like that, like that. So now there are 49 processes in project management according to PMI. The 49, the processes in the 49 are now grouped into what we call knowledge area. So the processes that have to do with scope are called scope management processes. The ones that have to do with cost are called cost management processes. The ones that have to do with communication management processes. Quality, schedule, risk, stakeholder, resource, procurement, integration. I intentionally mentioned integration last because integration is the babasale, is the mother of all of them. So part of your being able to manage projects in a professional way, non-parochial, multifaceted, critical thinking based, attention to detail oriented is why you necessarily have to keep factoring all these areas in all you do. All these areas in how you think. All these areas in how you plan, how you execute, how you manage change on the project. If you don't have a system like this, there is a huge possibility that maybe at best you pick 4 of this. Maybe 4, right? Maybe you pick scope, you pick cost, you pick schedule. Maybe you pick one more. Maybe you pick, maybe procurement. And then you think you are done. And even for the ones you have picked, for each of these knowledge areas, this is like a universe. Or let me say, is it like universe the right word? Like solar system, in which each of all of these things, they are like planets on their own. They are huge worlds, huge worlds. Scope management is a very huge world. If you put your 2 legs there, you don't go touch floor. You keep going. There's so much to learn. You go into cost management, that's another very, very huge world. You go into risk management, that one is like a combo world. You go into resource management, oh my God. When you're saying resources, human resources, material, machinery, I'm talking of so much. The issue of managing teams is under resource management. There's so much. A lot of research and work has been dedicated into managing people, managing teams, managing all of these things in the past, in fact, almost in the beginning of time. So there's so much to learn. Remember, Kaizen, continuous improvement. You have to keep getting better, keep improving, keep trying to make yourself a better version of what you were yesterday.